All right, who wants to go ahead? Um, how has it been? How is it going? How is the learning going? How many certificates do you have now? Nobody wants to share. Interesting.
The learning has been great.
Yeah.
Personally, I have 3
Okay.
certificates right now, and I'm really
Interesting.
enjoying the process of
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. Who would like to share also? Who would like to go
Hi,
next?
hi, good evening from my side.
Hello, good evening, Marcel. How's your learning
Okay,
going? How are
it's
you?
going fine, except for the cloud security, the CCSK. I don't know how to, I don't know how to go from here. The final exam and the rest. I'm just, what's it called, apprehensive, and I don't know if there is a badge for it, if there is a certificate for it before even writing the main exam with the voucher. That one I don't even understand the structure. So
Okay. Have you
that's why.
gotten to is that the stage you are in now? Like is that where you're learning at now?
Yes, final
Okay.
exam.
All right. You know what? Just send an email to hello@ingressive.org and we'll surely like respond because we have to escalate this to the support team so that we can understand what is going on. Like even I myself I don't understand what they're saying. So yeah.
Yes, yes. There's something about the badges, like the second course, which is a cyber security essentials. I finished it. I took the first. We have opportunity to write the exams twice. I took the first one. I got 66 points, and then I didn't qualify for the badge. But when I took the second, when I took my last, when I made my last attempt, I scored more than the 75. I didn't get any badge, just the certificate. So I don't know whether you are expected to make that, get the badge at first trial or something. I didn't even know that was how it was programmed, and I didn't get the badge. And in fact, I was not happy about it. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
so sorry about that. Have you are you sure you've
I'm
checked
willing to
your
even start all
email?
over again. Yes, I checked. I checked many times. I did the exam twice, Sha. So yeah.
Okay. Talking about the cloud security, this is the cloud security. What's the one you're talking about? So I can take notes and ask.
Okay. Okay. The one my last complaint is about the cyber security essentials. That's the second one, the
Okay.
second call.
So you
So
took
I
the
finished.
course twice, but you didn't get the badge.
No, I wrote the first one. I made only 66. I didn't pass it. So
Okay.
I had to take my second chance because you are expected to write it twice. So I took the second
Okay.
exam and I was able to make more than 75%. So I was
Okay.
expecting that I should be able to get a badge. So I didn't
Okay.
get. Uh, that's my own. And it
Okay.
should have been written there now that you will get your badge only once at the first trial, not
Sure.
the.
We'll confirm that. Thank you so much for sharing. I'll confirm that and let you know. I already took down
Okay.
notes. All right.
Thank you
Don't
very
feel
much.
bad.
But the learning is okay. I'm happy about it.
Thank you.
At
Thank you
least
for
I'm
sharing.
getting a look. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Don't feel bad. All right. So who would like to share? So just take I think one more person. I'm going to confirm if our guest is here yet before we dive right in.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. There are a lot of background noise.
Sorry, I think it's the headphones. So, can you hear me?
Sorry, I can't hear you very well.
Let me just try fixing this.
All right. Please, do you want to like go to a different location because I can't hear you? So sorry, I can't hear you. Please move to a different location and maybe try to speak again. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi. Who's speaking?
Yeah, the course has been great so far. I think I'm on my fourth course. That's the CSK, and it's been great so far. Gotten my 3
Amazing.
badges. Aim for my 4th badge. Yeah.
Yay, amazing. So what I want you to do for you guys that have gotten a lot of badges and the course is going on well, there are a lot of questions that people are asking. I can see some of you jumping in to respond to these questions. So please, if you've like passed the stage that somebody is asking a question and you know you've gone past that stage, please don't hesitate to step in, to help that person out, please and please, so that you can help graduate. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, I know you have questions, but we'll take the questions later. Okay, take the questions later. I just want to hear how your learning is going. I just want to know if you're actually learning and you're not just vibing, because this scholarship, we had a lot of applications, about 30,000 plus applications, and you're one of the few lucky people that made it. So I don't want you to trivialize scholarship or to just see it as one of those things. Do you understand? So we want you to complete your courses, to get your certificate, to exam pass, get your certificate, and be ready for the job market, basically. Do you understand? So, yeah. One more person to tell me how is our learning has been going.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, good evening.
I've not heard the lady speak since. What's going on? Hi. Hello. Someone was trying to speak. I think Mark or Akintayo. I don't know.
I was saying something.
All right, please go ahead.
So we recently just got added to this one, right? And I'm done with my first course. I'm on my second course. But now the thing is, we have a third course that is to run simultaneously. And from what I know, it's not possible that I'd finish the second course and the third course before the 24th. You get?
Okay.
So I'm appealing that the team extends the deadline for the third course. Because if I choose to rush the second course and the third course, then I won't absorb as much as I should. You get? So, and if you want the learning experience to be like the best possible level, then I think we should have enough time. And some people are even yet to even finish the first course. So if the third course, the deadline is still on the 24th, then there's so much pressure. And we just end up rushing through everything just to make sure we pass. And at the end of the day, the information we're supposed to get, we just kind of breeze through it. So the appeal is to extend the deadline for the third course.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for advocating or appealing that we extend it. Trust me, we are also looking at how best everybody can learn and learn well, actually. So if you look into it, and we're also considering an extension. So nothing is decided yet, though. So please just try and be consistent with your learning, right? But if there is a need for an extension, trust me, we'll definitely extend it. Our goal is to have a lot of people finish their courses. So we are not trying to reduce or to streamline anything. So we want as much people to complete and be certified. So yeah, don't worry. Just be patient, learn at your pace, and just be consistent. All right. So yeah, sure. I think that will be all. Hi, good evening.
All right. Good evening, and thanks so much for the access. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah,
Please, if you're not
actually,
speaking,
thank you
mute
so
your
much
mic.
All right. So, can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right. So, I actually just started the course like 2 days ago because I was actually doing I was doing exam. I was in exam period and test period when I got the mail. When I saw the mail, rather. So I started 2 days ago, and with the deadline like coming very very soon, I don't think I'll be able to like finish. Based on what the other guy said earlier, like if there's possibility to just help us to extend the date before the deadline.
Okay, you also want an extension. Like I rightly said, um, if there is a need for an
Yeah.
extension, we'll give it. Trust me, we will. So don't no worries, just continue learning. We are not
All right.
oblivious of what is going on. Do you understand? We can see how many people have completed and how many people are trying to complete as well. So just be consistent, and if there is a need, we'll extend. Do you get? Yeah.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
All right. Take
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Anybody else?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, good afternoon.
Uh, Good afternoon. I am Secretary from the Gambia.
Hello.
I'm getting you. As I am Secretary from the Gambia.
All right. How's your learning been? How's it going with you?
Yeah, well, anyway, it's going fine. Just ask the other guys how what he said. Like, it will be very necessary, like, if we can have an extension. Because right now I
Okay.
have 3 courses activated in my account, done with one, but then left with 2. But I
All
realize
right.
that the deadline will be 25th or 24th of June. So I don't think that it will be possible, to finish all these 2 courses within this short period of time. So perhaps if there can be an extension, that will be very, very good for us.
All right. Thank you so much. I've
Yeah.
addressed that. So yeah, we'll look into it and we'll get back to you. Be rest assured, you don't have to
Oh,
panic.
okay then.
We'll sort it out. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
okay.
All right, I think we'll just start right
Good,
now.
Yeah, well,
good evening.
Hi, finally a female. Okay, I'll make an exception. So please go ahead.
Okay, yeah, based on the extension, yeah, we still want that. Please, how can I get my badge?
All right. So after you complete your courses, check your email. Usually your badge is being sent to your email. So you can get it there. Did you check your email?
Yeah, I've checked my email. I didn't get any badge, though I've not completed the first 3 courses.
But you've completed the first one.
Is it when I complete the first one, I'll get the
Yeah,
badge?
you get a badge for every course you complete, or I think
Oh,
it's a badge or certificate for a badge. Yeah, for every course you complete.
oh, okay, okay. I've not been able
Yes.
to
So,
finish the first one, so
All right. So we'll just get started.
hi. Can you
Hi,
permit me to
please.
ask a question?
No, you can't ask questions now,
Yeah, can I?
please. We take
All
questions
right.
after the session.
All right, that's
Thank you
fine.
so much. Yeah, yes, thank you. All right. So thank you all for sharing. Thank you so much for telling us how your learning is going. Like I said earlier, please encourage other people and try to help people out whenever they ask questions on the group. So yeah, our guest for today, like the title says, the topic of the event is a mentorship interactive session, and we had to invite one of the experts in the industry, Sanusi Sultan. Sultan Sanusi. I think Sultan is his first name. So Sultan is a cyber security sales specialist at Cisco. It's all about leveraging security solutions to help customers achieve their business objectives. Is solution oriented and passionate about people and technology. So we've invited Sultan to come speak with you, have an interaction with you. It's going to be this session is going to be very, very interactive, right? He's going to share about his background, share insights about the industry and jobs that he can apply for after graduation, share some encouraging words, and just interact with you basically. So, I, Sultan, please let me know if you're here and if you can hear me. Okay. 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Sorry, 1 minute, please. So our guest is finding it difficult to join in.
Hello, can someone hear me? Hello.
So sorry. He's going to join in few minutes. There was some mix up in the communication, but he's going to join in very, very soon. So that's the brief bio of our guests. I'd like you to check him out. So we are going to send his link on after the chat. I'm going to send the link to his LinkedIn. He's more active on LinkedIn, so you can check him out, connect with him, learn from him, and ask him questions, and he will surely answer you. So while we wait for him to join us, I'm going to take just one more person to tell me how your learning has been. Don't ask questions. We'll take questions after the whole class, but don't ask questions. Just share with us. I want to know, how has it been going on with you?
Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm fine. I want Anthony now to go ahead. She started speaking first.
My name is Anita. I'm
Hi,
from Kenya.
hi, Sultan is here. Sorry, I
Hi.
joined late.
Oh, sorry, our guest is here. I'll take it later, Athena. Hi, Sultan. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just read your bio to our learners, and
okay.
I already welcomed you to start speaking. So the thing is that hi guys, this is Sultan. So Sultan will be sharing a bit about his background and sharing some encouraging words. Talk about the industry, jobs that you can apply for, and any other encouraging words. Then we take questions and answer. So over to you, Sultan.
All right, can you guys hear me very well? Loud and clear.
We can
All
hear
right,
you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we
all right.
can
So,
hear you.
all right. Thanks. So I'll just turn on my video briefly so that you guys can see me, but I'll have to turn it off shortly. Angela, please confirm you can see my video.
Not yet.
Okay. Is it better
All
now?
right. Yes, very fine. Very better.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Sultan. My name is Sultan Sanusi. It's a pleasure to be with you. Sorry, I joined late. For some reason, I assumed this was a Google Meet engagement. So I've been waiting in the lobby for someone to admit me. Right. So apologies for that. So I think based on the structure that was shared, I was to say, give a bit of background about myself. So I am currently a cybersecurity specialist with Cisco, but let me start from educational background. That's always a good place to start, right? So I got my BSc and Masters more or less at the same time, back to back. I studied in the Ukraine, so I have a BSc in computer engineering and a Masters in computer systems and networks. That was my early introduction into networking. I got here via networking. First of all, I got introduced to Network Plus. Some of you might know Network Plus, right? And from network blocks, I got introduced to Cisco because Cisco is one of the biggest player in the networking space. I got interested in networking and also programming, right? I learned programming in school, all the languages as at that time, right? I left school 2013, right? That's 10 years ago, right? Time flies. All right, so that's where my interest in networking started, and I took some networking certifications. I did CCNA, the basic routing and switching, right? And then I came home from school. I did my NYSC. I was a primary school teacher, computer teacher in a primary school, teaching from nursery 3 to primary 6, right? And my favorite students were the nursery 3 and primary 1 guys because they were very engaging. All right, so I was a primary school teacher. Then I left after NYC. I got a job as first as a network engineer, then into computer systems. As a network engineer, and then I got promoted to head the fiber to the home department of Swift. So my first official job after NYC was working with Swift Networks. I was first enterprise network and support. So I did that for a year, right? Focusing on networking, on the networking connectivity part of networking from a service provider level. Then I got promoted to head the project and support team with Swift for fiber to the home, which exposed me to a lot more on the networking side because we had to go from what's it called, the civil works part of it, right? That's the actual. I had to supervise the team doing the civil works. I had to set up the network equipment room, and then I had to set up the connections in individual homes, test that it works. And I was also the first point of contact for support. So that gave me a lot of knowledge into the industry. While I was doing that, I still did some certifications. I did certifications in Prince 2, that's projects in a controlled environment. I did CCNA security. I did a lot more other certifications, right? Then from there, it was there my interest in security came up. I found security fascinating, did some certifications, and then got an opportunity to join an IT company, a vendor, or what we call, not a vendor, integrator, right? Or as we call them, systems integrator. So I joined Tiger Logic, and I was, what's my title again? Basically, I was responsible for the security solutions for pre-sales, right, for Tiger Logic, for all security vendors you can think about, Fortinet, Palo Alto, Arbor, Radware, all these major OEMs. I was responsible for the pre-sales activities in there. And pre-sales activities basically means I needed to understand the solutions and I needed to sell it to our customers, right, in Nigeria, right? So if you're looking for DDoS, I had to sell, I had to be able to position Radware's DDoS solution. And the advantage of that role also, because I was covering multiple vendors, right, I had to also now choose for each occasion or for each use case which vendor I should go with. So, for example, I have a customer that is looking for endpoint security, right? We had 4 different. I was supporting 4 different OEMs in pre-sales activity. So it was now my responsibility to know the needs of the customer, to know the wallet share of this customer, and then position the right endpoint security products for them. So that was also another opportunity for me to learn on the security space. Then it was after then I now joined Cisco. I joined Cisco based in Nigeria office. I'm based in Lagos, and now I do pre-sales, but just on Cisco security products. And then now I cover multiple territories. I cover East, West Africa, the whole of Southern Africa minus South Africa. So more or less SSA, right? As a security specialist. My role as a security specialist is similar to what I was in the partner space. pre-sales activities. But now I do pre-sales activities for customers, and then I do enablement for our channel partners or integrators, right? And my responsibility is the whole of the Cisco security stack of products and services. And I've been doing that. September will make it 4 years. So that's a, let's say, a summary. Yeah, that's a summary of my background. Angela, you want to?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. That is so inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing that. So I'd like you to share about the industry, like just share insights in the industry, because some of our learners are entry levels. They're just looking out to break into the cybersecurity industry. So I'd like you to give insights about the industry and what they should expect.
All right. Okay, let me start with what you should expect. IT in general. So I won't specialize in security. IT in general requires you to have a thirst for knowledge, right? It's always changing. It's changing more or less every month. There's always a new thing coming out every month, and the security is even, and the changes in IT security is even faster than the IT space, because in IT security, we are the good guys. We are considered the good guys. The attackers are considered the bad guys. And when I mean we, the customers, the vendors, and all are considered the good guys. And the attackers are constantly looking for newer ways to attack our customers, right? Either to steal their either to hold their information for ransom, steal their information, use it for nefarious activities. So because we always have to be changing our approach to catch up with the attackers, right? It's a cat and mouse game. So you always have to be reading up on new things. You always have to know what's going on part time, right? And what's going on part time in the world, and then you have to have so you need to have a helicopter of what's going on around, in the cybersecurity space in the world, and then you need to narrow it down into what is obtainable in your environment, or whether it's your customer, whether it's with the region you cover. You have to narrow it down there, because what you are trying to be is the subject matter expert or the trusted advisor, right? And if you are working, because there are different roles in cybersecurity, you can work as a customer, as in the operations, or you can work in the sales part of it, right? So if you're working in sales part of cybersecurity, you now need to be a trusted advisor to your customers. That basically means that you need to trust that you have a best interest at heart. And when I say sales role, I'm also referring to consulting, right? Because consulting is another type of sales, but it's not really sales, but it's like sales. So if you're consulting, if you're selling, if you're implementing, basically if you're not the one using the solution, you are the sales resource for cybersecurity. So you need to be that trusted advisor. To be that trusted advisor, you need to read a lot, you need to know a lot of things. Basically, customer needs to be able to call you and be like, oh, I heard about this new Kaseya ransomware. What is this about? Right? You need to know you need to be an expert almost at everything, right? It takes time. You need to do a lot of reading, a lot of certifications, a lot of recertifications. You need to join. I listen to podcasts. Some people don't, right? On security. You need to read, join groups. Some of these certification bodies have local groups like ISC Squared and ISACA and the likes of them. Join local groups, join regional groups, right? And basically, if you're on the other side, not the one using the technology, you need to be a trusted advisor. Now, the flip side is if you are the user. Let's say you work in a bank and the security department of a bank, or in government, you are out of the security team, you work in a SOC. Now you are considered those users because you use the security solutions, right? What you now need to be is a subject matter expert. That's what you need to attain to be. Subject matter expert on whatever, whether you're focusing on one tool, whether you're focusing on multiple tools, right? You need to know those tools. You need to know what those tools are supposed to do. You need to know what it. So security tools. So we use security tools to mitigate against a threat or an attack or something, right? So you need to know what each tool you are using, what it does, how to configure it, how to maximize value from it, and you need to be that something like that, because in your organization you are the security guy or the security expert, right? So you need to know more than the rest of your team, than the IT guys. And then at this stage, since you guys are just starting in, one advice that I would give based on my own experiences, you need to have foundational IT knowledge, right? Without IT, security is built on top of the IT, right? Because you need to have, if there's no IT, then there's no security. So you need to know about networking, you need to know about the wireless technology, you need to know about collaboration technology, because your security solutions will be protecting all these technologies, right? You don't need to know about them to be at expert level, but you need to have knowledge of them, how they work, especially networking, right? Because some of the security solutions that you would either use or you would sell are going to ride on the network of your customers, right? And now with the advent of cloud, most of our customers run a hybrid setup, right? So you need to know about cloud technologies, AWS, Azure, Google, IBM, Oracle, right? And you need to know about SaaS services, software as a service, right? That our customers can consume, because now we're not focusing on on-prem anymore. Our customers are running a bit of a hybrid setup, right? So that I hope I answered both questions, but that would be my response to your question.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Thank you so much for sharing. So I want to pass, since it's an interactive session. Hold on, please. Yeah, I know you have a question. I was about to call on you if you have a question, right? So since it's an interactive session between our learners and you, I want to give them the ability to ask a question. So if you have any question, please, I'm going to try to organize it from my hand. So please go ahead and ask your question.
I sent a message. Hello, Dolapo.
Hi.
I sent you my question because I didn't know if I'll get a chance to speak. But now that I have a chance to speak, I might as well ask Mr. Sultan. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity. I work on the integrator side of things, so I share some of your views. My first question would be for you to name some of the podcasts you actually follow. And then my next question would be, when you were working at Tiger Logic, I happen to know Tiger Logic. I actually worked in that building. How were you able to manage these solutions? So I have quite a range of solutions in my portfolio, and I'm sure you understand how difficult it can be, owning some of these solutions per time. So can you share with me, sir, how you were able to manage it in your time at Tiger Logic? Thank you very much.
All right, excellent. So managing these solutions, as I said, it's a lot of solutions. You could be working with about 20 to 30 solutions per time. And I think with the advent of cloud now, it's even more, right? So I think the easiest way is to put solutions in like blocks. So for example, you can have network security. Inside network security, that's where your firewall sits. That's where your access control sits. That's where. Okay, let me rephrase my answer. First of all, you need to understand the cybersecurity stack. And in the cybersecurity stack, you have network security, you have endpoint security, you have cloud edge or cloud security, you have data center security, right? About 4 of them. Now, you now need to filter your solutions or for the vendors you work with. You need to filter them into those stacks. So I use network security as an example. Inside network security, right, you have a sub-stack called firewalls, right? And for firewalls, these are the main vendor players in firewalls. You have Cisco, you have Fortinet, you have Palo Alto, you have Checkpoint. That is for firewalls on-prem. And then you have native firewalls that sit in Azure or AWS. Now, firewalling technology at its basic is to keep the bad guys from coming into your network and then to ensure that your users are able to use the network securely, right? So at the heart of all this firewalling, all these firewall vendors, they all do. That is what they are supposed to do. So you need to know, first of all, what is the purpose of a firewall? What's the firewall supposed to do in a network? Right? Where does the firewall sit in a network? Not you have to take the vendor away now. Just understand the technology itself. What is the technology supposed to do? Now, once you understand that, you now need to look at how does the vendors, how does Cisco do firewall? How does Fortinet do its firewall? How does Palo Alto and the likes, right? And then by having that understanding, but by the time you know what a firewall is, it's easy to add and remove different vendors, because what is now differentiating them is features, right? Some have this feature, some have this other feature, some do this way, right? But the heart of it is understanding what a firewall is for, the purpose of the firewall. That is to me, that is key for you to be able to manage multiple vendors. That is very key. Now, I know there was another question on the podcast I listened to. So I would off the top of my head, I know there's one I listen to called Security Now. We should go on Apple or Google Podcast, search for Security Now, and basically these ones just talk about what is new in the cybersecurity space from the attacker's point of view. So what are the new attacks going on right now, and what are the vendors doing to mitigate them, and how to just have good cybersecurity hygiene. I have another podcast that is done by one of my colleagues based out of Dubai. His name is Ibrahim, and the name Ibrahim Yusuf. He's a solutions architect. And I think the name of his podcast is Ibrahim on Security or Yusuf on Security. I can share it with Adedamola afterwards. It's also very good. And it's also a very, very he's a solutions architect, so he talks about from a design perspective. So he can tell you what is XDR, what is SASE, email security, what is DKIM, what are the authentication methods on email, and the likes. Right, and so those are the two I can remember out of my head. My podcast portfolio mixes between security, politics, and sports. So sometimes I just because it's, if you focus on you need to have other hobbies, right? So True. So I hope I answered the question.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hello.
Yeah.
It answers to us, is Python and other programming languages an absolutely essential part of the cybersecurity, or can it be done without?
Yes, so they are essential part of cybersecurity. From so if you are a user, if you remember by definition, if you're a user, meaning you work. You use those cybersecurity solutions in your environment, right? A lot of those cybersecurity solutions integrate with each other using different programming languages, and using the API calls. So your knowledge of programming is very key. If you work in DevSecOps, right, you're going to need to understand a lot of even newer programming languages, right? And also there are some security solutions whereby you need to go command line level, right? It's not GUI, it's command line, so you need to understand how that command line speaks. So and if you're integrating with all these Kubernetes and the likes, the knowledge of programming is going to be very relevant, right? So programming languages are very, very important. Python is a very important one. I'll say also C++, right? But I would, if you are in the user space, I would say you should know the programming language you can start learning programming languages based on what you are working on. That's the fastest way, right? Because if your environment, you guys use Python, right? But you're now trying to learn C++ on the side, the demands of work will not give you the time the pace at which you go will be slow on both of them. So if you find yourself in an environment that you're doing C++, just start learning C++. That way, whatever you're learning, you can apply it in your professional space.
Okay. I have one more question.
Yeah.
I joined the podcast late, so I'm not able to. I don't know what you said in the beginning.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Can I take it again?
I joined the podcast late, so I wasn't able to hear your explanation in the beginning.
I hear my what?
Your explanation in the beginning.
Of which of the questions now?
Yes, so I wanted to ask, please, what is I've been an undergraduate in computer science. So please, what is a brief roadmap you can give, a general roadmap to becoming a cybersecurity specialist? Like, for example, certifications I need or certain things I need to do.
All right. So to be a cybersecurity specialist, from my point of view, first of all, you need to understand IT. I would say start from networking, right? Understand networking, and now that we have the cloud, right? You also understand networking on-prem and on the cloud. Then layer security on top of that, right? So from a certifications perspective, I'll assume starting at beginner level. So you have to do certifications like Security Plus, CCNA security, right? And then you now once you start getting to intermediate level, you now start looking at CCNP, right? You look at certifications like certifications on AWS, on Azure, right? Take their certifications also, right? You can take some Microsoft certifications too, because there's no environment you get to, you're going to touch a Microsoft. You're going to find a Microsoft product, so you can as well learn more about Microsoft's view on security, right? Then you can do, if you want to go into the offensive security bit, you can start looking at certifications like Certified Ethical Hacker, right? You can look at, and then when you start migrating towards advanced levels, you can now start to do certifications in CISSP, CISM, CCIE if you are technically inclined, right? OSCP also if you're technically inclined. And I mean, a lot. And again, that is another level of certifications you need to take is to be certified on the products you're either selling or using. So for example, if your environment where you're working, you see that you have Cisco firewalls or Cisco's access control called ICE. One of the first things I do tell customers is you need to train your employees on these tools, right? Because if they know how to use it, then you get maximum return on the investment. So certification also comes that way if you are using the solutions in your environment, and all vendors have product-based certifications. Yes, that's the word. So they have product-based certifications which you need to learn to be able to use those products. So that is the certification part. And there is no, as I say, there's no one road to the market, right? That part. Yes. That is one part that I know. Some of my other colleagues and friends have different paths that have also worked for them. So the key thing I'll just say is network more, research more, read more. IT is constantly changing every day, so you need to and sorry, one last thing on certification bit. You don't have to write all the exams, but you have to try and take as much of the training as you can. So a lot of these vendors put the training for free and tell you to pay for the exam, right? As often as you can, because I know some of these certifications come at a cost, right? As much as you can, and take the training for free. Is the knowledge you need. Certification is to show that you have that knowledge, but what you actually need for your job is the knowledge, right? The certificate is based to show HR and your managers that, I know this thing, I'm certified in it, but what you actually need is the knowledge. So as much as you can, take as much. It's not all the certifications it's not certifications that I have certification. I have trainings I took without taking certification, but I don't get to know what the thing is about. Took the training, fine with it, and moved on. So it's not everything that it will save you costs of initially writing it. I have so many certifications. It also save you costs of maintaining it, because there's also maintenance of some certifications every year, which costs some money also. But the key that you need is knowledge. So take on YouTube. There's so many free. You if you want to know about ICE on YouTube, just Google Cisco ICE on YouTube. So many free trainings of Cisco ICE on YouTube, right? And it's for free. And the world, it's you have to pay for your data, but the knowledge is for free.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
You would like to ask a question, please?
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you for the session so far.
You're welcome.
I would like to know, with your experience as an expert in the field of cybersecurity, what if your goal is to start, maybe to go into tech entrepreneurship or start something of your own? What options do you have?
Okay. So I'm not. I haven't gone into entrepreneurship, so I won't say I have a lot of visibility into that. But I have worked with tech entrepreneurs, and the number of directions some go. A lot of them go into systems integration. You can go into development of a product, right? You can design a product and sell. And I'm talking IT generally now. You can design a product and sell. Can you please give me a second? Just a second, please. Yeah, sorry about that. So some go into systems integration. You can design a product, can develop a product, right? It all just depends. You can go into professional services, right? That's another key aspect that is lacking in the region, right? Professional services means then you have the skills to be able to deploy certain products for certain customers, right? And that skill set is really lacking. A lot of deployment guys from Middle East, from Europe. So if you're able to skill up and have a team that can deploy experts at deploying certain technologies, that's another direction to go into.
Okay, so the act of building products, you say you can also build a product to sell. So let's say you have experience as a product manager now. Does it mean that you can build cybersecurity products for businesses, like
Well,
B2B solutions?
technically you can, but it's a very, very long road.
Long road.
You can build a product, but it's a long road.
Okay. Thank you.
So, okay. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Toby.
Yeah, thank you for the time you're offering to answer our questions. All right, so I just want to ask if you guys are going to extend the deadline for cloud security.
Sorry?
I said I just want to ask if you guys are going to extend the deadline for cloud security. Because it's
I'll take
expiring
that.
in 2 days.
Okay.
I told you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I already addressed this earlier on. If we see a need for an extension, we are going to extend it. I just want you to relax and take your course at your pace and consistently take your course, right? We can see the back end and see how many people are learning. Do you understand? So don't panic.
Okay.
Just take the course, and if there is a need for an extension, we'll extend it. Okay. You don't have to. We are not trying to streamline the number of people that graduate. As a matter of fact, we want as many people to complete their courses. Do you understand? So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Is at least the news is comforting. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
So, any other question?
Hello.
Hi.
Can you mute the mic?
This is John.
Yes, please. Please go ahead.
No?
I can hear you. Go ahead. I think.
Hello, I have a question.
Hello.
Yeah, I think
Hello, good
two people are
afternoon.
asking a question at the same time. Can we go? Can James go first, please?
Hello.
Yeah, James, please go first. Then Oyin will go next.
Oh, good afternoon or evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for making out time to have this section with us. I actually want to ask, as you know, about cybersecurity is very broad, and most of us who are beginners are actually finding it very difficult to choose area of specialization. So, what could your advice be?
Okay, good question. So your area of specialization is going to be towards your area of interest, right? So basically, what are you interested in? Because as I said earlier, cybersecurity is going to require a lot of study, and if you don't have the interest, you won't be able to carry out the necessary level of dedication to it. So what you need to ask yourself is, first of all, you need to see the big picture of cybersecurity. You need to know the products. You need to know the products areas, right? So you can ask yourself questions like, do you want to be hands-on? Do you want to be an engineer, right? Do you want to sell these products? Do you want to be a support person? Because there's also support teams on cybersecurity, right? Do you want to be an advocate, right? For cybersecurity, that's also a role, also, right? Because we need as many advocates in the cybersecurity space, because everybody needs to improve their security hygiene, whether you work in a corporate or as an individual. And I'll give you an example of advocacy. All of us have social media accounts, I want to believe, LinkedIn, Twitter, right? But how many of us on this app enable multi-factor authentication on those accounts, right? And I would say, I would estimate less than 50%, right? And this multi-factor authentication is free. It's an opt-in. You have to choose to do it, but a lot of people do not do that, right? So one advocacy angle should be people should improve their security posture or security hygiene, right? Another one is don't use the same password on two different services, right? And the reason being that if your password is harvested from one site, it cannot be reused or replayed on a different site, right? So, or different service. So just to summarize the answer to your question, you need to find out which area of cybersecurity appeals to you, that you show the most interest, right? In my experience, I realized that where I have interest, I can go hours, days, weeks, testing for knowledge in that space. But where I don't have interest, right, I struggle to finish 2 pages of text, right? So, or I struggle to even watch a 30-minute video. But when I have interest, I could listen to a podcast for 2.5 hours. So you need to identify where your interest lies, and then you pursue it.
Yeah. Okay. One last one. How
Yeah.
long does it take to perfect your skills, or is it a continuous process?
That one is easy. It's a continuous process, because first of all, right, the security landscape is always changing, right? So we always have to adjust our thinking based on the kind of attack patterns we are seeing, based on regulation from the government, based on interaction with our users, based on different parameters, right? So you have to be flexible, and then you have to constantly be learning. So it's a continuous; it never ends, basically.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. So I think there was someone that had another question, but I can't see him here.
Hello, can I speak, please?
Yes, please.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah,
Hello.
Is it Oyibo? Can he go? Can he go, please? I think he's been waiting. Please go ahead.
Oyibo, please ask your question.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir, we are very happy for this wonderful and enlightening lecture you've been passing through, sir.
Thank you.
So, sir, like some of us, especially me, I'm very new to this aspect of tech. Like
Okay.
all my life, I have zero knowledge about tech, even up for now. So,
Okay.
like I heard you say that you can't really do well in this aspect without having knowledge of programming. So I don't know. Don't you think we should maybe someone should go and learn programming languages before venturing into cybersecurity?
Okay. So you don't have to. I would say it's. I think you're referencing when someone asks the importance of programming languages
Yes,
in
because
security.
like as it is now, I have zero knowledge of any programming language. Let me not lie to you.
Okay. So what I would say is foundational for cybersecurity is networking knowledge, not necessarily programming. Programming knowledge is good to know, but knowledge of networking, right, is critical, right, because your security stack is going to sit on top of the network. Whether the network is on-prem, whether it's in the cloud, there has to be a network, right? So
Okay.
if you do not have knowledge of networking, you will not be able to mentally picture how security will come in, and that will be a big challenge. So I would say fundamental for cybersecurity is networking. But down to the physical layer, down to cables, down to patch cords, down to SFPs, you need to have that networking background.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, my second question goes to the convener, sir.
Okay.
Hello. So I don't know. I have these challenges. I've been doing my courses and I've so far so good. I've finished like 3 courses, and each of the courses I don't normally. I've not been given badges. It's only certification. I don't know. I don't know if there's any problem.
I
Okay.
So, if I want to check your email first, be sure to check all your email folders to ensure that you maybe your spam or your promotions. So you should get a badge for every course that you complete. You should get your badge in your email, right? So if after you've done that you still can't find it, please send an email to hello@ingressive.org, and we'll connect you to the Cisco support team.
All right. So sorry, Lapo, sorry, I have to drop now. I have another engagement at this
Okay.
time.
This time. Thank you so much. It's just 5 o'clock as well. So thank you so much for
My God,
joining.
we still have a lot of questions to ask.
Okay, you know what? Please ask your questions on the group. I'm sure it's still going to be on the Telegram group for a while. So whenever I get a chance, we'll attend to your question. If we stay all day, we'll keep getting questions anyway. So please, we are so sorry. We just have to wrap up now. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.
Hopefully, I mean, thank you for organizing this, and I mean, I'm always happy to support if you can organize maybe a follow-up session some other time.
Oh,
But
interesting.
thanks, and I'll try and look through. I don't use Telegram a lot, but I'll try and look through the Telegram group and answer as many questions as I can. So thank you for your questions,
Amazing.
and thank you for inviting me.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So hopefully we'll have you some other time. I'm going to connect with Imo and see if we can reschedule this for some other time. Thank you so
No
much.
problem. Thanks. All right. Thanks, everyone. Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Hopefully we'll have another session with him some other time. And just ask on the group. He's going to answer you, or we've scheduled another interactive session. So there are a lot of people that wants to ask questions, right? So sorry about that, everybody. So please,
Okay.
just ask the question
Can
in the group. I'll answer. Yes.
okay. I good evening. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I just have
have a complaint. I don't know if it's a complaint or a request. I'm actually a full timer, like I work full time, and I'm trying to balance, trying to work, be because I'm working in an NGO in an IT firm, so and my course is on Cisco. Like I'm on my course cloud security now, and I have this. I'm saying that the timeline is this week Friday, which I don't think I can make it. I don't know if there can be an extension from even if it's a week.
Oh yeah, everybody have been asking me for an extension. I think I just don't want to promise what I will not be able to fulfill, but just because I need to consult with Anifa and the team, right, before I can even make any. Do you get? But a lot
Yeah.
of people have been asking for an extension, so it's something that we would love to consider. We'll probably consider it, but I don't want to promise. Do you understand? But be rest
Yeah.
assured that we want as much people to complete their courses also.
We
So, all
believe
right.
in you to felicitate for us. Please,
All right.
No
I'll
problem.
see what I can do. All right.
please enjoy
Thank you,
your
guys.
course.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
Hello.
Dolapo, we would really appreciate that. Um, Sorry to interject, but the truth is,